Hey everyone, this is Jack from the Cardboard Herald, and we are at PAX Unplugged 2022 Day 3, and I am here chilling in the PostCurious booth with Rita Orlov herself. How's the con going?
It's going really well.
Yeah, well, this is your first year with the booth proper, right?
Yes, it is.
So how is this different for you as a convention goer, as a publisher? Like, does this feel like you've reached a new level? Is this getting a lot of exposure? Tell me about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, people have been really receptive so far. It's been had a lot of people stop by the booth, being interested in the games, and this is the first year that I've actually had anything to sell because everything got delivered in 2022. So we sold out of Emerald Flames on the first day. We sold out of Light in the Mist yesterday, and now I know to bring more copies next time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so cool that you have so many products now available. Like a lot of people, if they have their first booth, they might have one or like two freshly hot products. Now you have Emerald Flame, you have the Light in the Mist, and then you have Adrift, which is just starting to fulfill the pre-orders.
Yeah, so we didn't have any copies of Adrift physically here. They just started shipping last week. So they're no longer in pre-order status, but are just starting to go out.
So Adrift was a game that skipped the Kickstarter process. So why did you decide to go with retail direct as opposed to Kickstarter?
It was just a smaller project, so it didn't really feel quite as good for Kickstarter. And I also wanted to have a bit of a shorter timeline on it, and not delay it a couple months just with the whole, preparation for Kickstarter, the Kickstarter itself, and everything that comes with that. And it's also a shorter game. It's about 3 hours, so it just didn't feel like there was quite as much for me to build a campaign around. And I also kind of wanted to just test the waters of what it would be like to put something just for a direct pre-order without using Kickstarter. So it was a little bit of an experiment as well.
Now, you did a panel this year, or multiple panels?
We did one panel, yes. It was called Games You Play Once, What Puzzles Bring to the Table. And we were talking with myself, Jack Fallows, who illustrated Light in the Mist.
Possibly right behind us.
Possibly right behind us. Two other puzzle creators, and the folks from Room Escape Artist. And we were talking about tabletop puzzle games, the indie scene in this genre, and talking about replayability and how these types of games are more of an experience, and so even though they're not replayable, that doesn't mean that they're not worth playing.
A lot of what I had to experience as someone who initially reviewed Tale of Ord and then your subsequent titles was I had to have my eyes open to what tabletop gaming could be. Of course, we have a lot of different type of puzzle games out there now, some hugely popular, some are more niche, and are there's a certain awareness that needs to be brought to the masses. Do you find that the general understanding of what you're going for has changed in tone from the time you started going to PAX to now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely, I think the audience awareness has definitely increased. I think there's still a long way to go in terms of introducing people to what else is out there. And it's hard for small publishers to be able to have a booth like this. So I'm really grateful to, be able to be here and be able to actually show these things to people. But there's so many other indie puzzle games out there. And we're hoping, by being here to also start exposing people to more creators that are out there.
Well, I'm so glad that the booth has been a success, that PAX Unplugged has been a success, and that you're able to continue doing this at this and future conventions. I have to ask while you're here, because I love your games, what's on the horizon? What can we expect after Adrift?
Yeah, so the next thing that we've got lined up is actually working on a second edition of the Tale of Ord. So that's going to be manufactured and not a limited edition like the original one was. We're doing some updates to the puzzles and the narrative and kind of just smoothing over some rough edges using, all the things I've learned in the past 5 years since I've designed it and, just trying to make a better game. And I've started working on a new project, which Adrift is sort of a spiritual prequel to, but it's still got a long way to go on that one.
Well, I can't wait to hear more. And if people want to check out any of this stuff, I'll have links in the video. And for now, thanks so much for meeting with me again, Rita. I can't wait to talk with you the next time when we have a new project to highlight.
Yeah, thank you.